Okay.
Scott Jennings.
Hey guys, I'm your host of Warren First 931, Kelly Walker Slaughter, and with me is always the lovely Melody Krim. Again, we're together today because we got so many activities going on this afternoon, which of course we will talk to you later on at the end of the show. But one big thing that has I don't want to say unfortunately like come into our lap was the rink relocation, because on the show we pride ourselves talking about what is the biggest topic going on right now, and we want to give credit where credit is due. As I always say, the Southern Standard is the one that broke out this information first about the relocation of the ice skating rink that has been ever so loved and enjoyed by community businesses, community patrons here in the downtown area. And so with that said, for the past 2 holiday seasons, and I'm taking quotes from the paper.
Let me give hang on.
Okay.
Let me give a small background on this for those who have recently moved
How
here.
we got it.
Or let's revisit this. So
Okay.
the ice skating rink was the brainchild of our tourism development board, which was, I believe the president has been Darren Owens for some time, but I'm not positive. But this was their crowning jewel. In my opinion, this is the greatest thing that they were able to do. And it led to a lot of controversy because people did not understand. They thought that this was taxpayer money, but this was not.
Yeah.
This was, if I remember correctly, it wasn't, we didn't pay for it, but
No.
the tourism money from the hotels paid for it. And from the beginning, it has been downtown on the grassy lot. They have built it. They have had it down here. It has brought numerous people. It has brought business to our downtown. It has brought people into our downtown businesses. It has been a magical thing. And then a couple of months ago, the city absorbed the Tourism Development Board. It no longer exists. The city overtook that, took control of that. I don't know the details of how that came about or what happened there, but it did. So therefore, they now have control over the ice skating rink. But there seems to have been maybe not enough planning when this happened because, according to what was said in the paper, they are not able to staff it, and they do not have the staff to build it downtown. So they are going to put it in the parking lot of the Milner Rec Center.
Because it's going to be easier with the concrete. You know, you don't have
they
to
don't
use
have to
as
build
many.
it, and they can just use the people there.
Yeah, it's a little more simpler. From like what I read in the Standard, it said putting it in the parking lot, it's easier to tear down, set up, take care of, watch. And I understand that 100%. I understand saying that, you know, being closer to the Civic Center. And then also too, they were saying, Michael Benushis said in there about how, you know, having it there in the parking lot. Also, they have things available at the Civic Center gym that people can participate in, which I, again, totally understand. You got the basketball court, you got the tennis courts, you got the pickleball courts, you got the jungle gym area, you know, all those things. But at the same time,
you don't have the ambiance of it being downtown where everything is lit up and super Christmassy. And the other thing is they're also reducing the time. Before,
it was till February.
Opening the rink was a big part of Flip the Switch. Santa came out and ice skated. It was a whole big thing. And then it was open, which is Flip the Switch is at the end of November. And then it was open till February. This year it will be open from December 1st to December 31st. And that's it.
That's weird.
Which, I mean,
not with your comment. I'm looking at our comments over here. I don't know who this Facebooker user is. Who are you?
So, and again, this is what we're getting from this paper. We have not I think we might have a scammer.
I think so. But they're too much. They know too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's kind of suspicious. Anyway,
I'll go.
Again,
You keep talking. I'm going on her page.
This is what we're getting from the Southern Standard. If somebody from the city would like to come on and talk to us,
Michael,
explain, Nolan, anybody who would like to come on and say, okay, let me explain to you more in detail of why this happened.
Oh, it's just not popping up on our end.
Oh.
Good morning, Darlene.
It's Brian.
It's Brian. It's not popping up. I'm so sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian. It just says that
and
you're
Darlene is the one that said, why didn't they put it in the Security Federal Bank where they have the music?
Which is also a good suggestion. And I'll tell you another one. We had somebody associated with the mall suggest, why didn't they put it in the mall? And make it an
environmental, with it being controlled environment. There's a lot of things. Like if the county thought, I don't know if the county was involved. I don't know. Like we said, I don't know all the logistics of what they said.
Know more. So if somebody with the city is watching this, or somebody who knows somebody in the city is watching this and can get the message to them, please let us know. We would love to have you on and love to talk to you more about this and get more details, because we are very much about transparency and honesty. And we would like to hear it right from the horse's mouth, not saying anything against the Southern Standard.
No.
They're amazing paper.
And nothing against the Milner Recreation Center everybody wants the best for this community.
Absolutely. But we would like to gain some understanding as to why, because a lot of people are not happy about this move. We did put up a poll.
And I totally understand, like, talking about the downtown businesses, and that includes here on Morford Street and North Spring Street, all these intricate parts over here. I understand that, a lot of them, when I was talking to them, that it brought a lot of revenue in. It brought a lot of, even if people didn't buy, it brought a lot of foot traffic to this area. So with that said, to me, whether you did it downtown, whether you put it at Northgate Plaza Shopping Center, there's so many other outlets you could have shared the wealth with. And I said this morning,
there's more foot traffic. There is foot traffic at Milner Rec, but there's more foot traffic in the summer when the pool is open. At this time of year, the only foot traffic that's really coming through are the people who have memberships and that are going to the gym, going to the courts and stuff. It's not something where, like when it was downtown, Mom could come downtown, stick husband and the kids at the ice skating rink, and she could go shopping and have a few mom minutes.
Right.
And it's kind of, not on the way to anything. It's kind of out of the way. I don't know. It'll be great for the people that live in that area because they'll have it right there. But I will say that, we did put up the poll this morning. Right now we have 110 votes that say that it is not a good idea. And then we have, stop that.
I think it was up to 16.
17.
Oh, I see what's happening. You're clicking.
Stop that. 17 votes that say that they think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, maybe it is a good idea. Maybe we will be wrong and it'll be great. But I don't know. You guys know that I'm a huge advocate for our downtown and our downtown business owners. And I just see this hurting them, and that upsets me a little bit.
And my fear, piggybacking on that, is if there's not as much foot traffic or use of the ice skating rink in the said parking lot, I feel like I'm, premonishing this, that the next thing we're going to hear is that since it didn't catch a lot of foot traffic and it wasn't utilized enough, it's gone.
And I always know what the rules on that are. Having gotten it, as the way that they got it, can they do that? Can they just sell it off or go away? Or
he's saying having the Christmas tree back where it rightfully belongs might be prettier for downtown.
Hopefully that will be there. Yeah. I'm also, again, I'm sorry, I've really neglected Main Street McMinnville. But last year Kelly Snyder, who is a blessing to Main Street McMinnville and Main Street, was gracious enough that she was able to get a local business to donate a shed, and they had Mrs. Claus in there. They had Santa Claus in there. They had story time. So it was I hope we can do that again. I haven't spoken to Kelly. Kelly has been going through a lot lately. Girl, you were still in our prayers.
Yes. Don't forget we have a prayer list too.
Yes. But I'm hoping that that I'm sure they'll find a way to utilize that lot.
No doubt. Like, again, everybody said that the ice skating rink in downtown McMinnville made it truly into one of those Hallmark movies for December. And I have to agree with that, because one of the things that, people have said to me that just moved here or thinking about moving here, or that people are just driving through here, they go, this town reminds us so much of a Hallmark movie.
They're actually putting up the Christmas decorations on the trees right now.
By the way, I want to say that just because we took the skating rink out doesn't mean our downtown isn't phenomenal. Shout out to Hank and them for starting early, putting up those Christmas lights. They do a phenomenal job. And a shout out to all the businesses getting their windows ready for this season. Because of course,
the Christmas open house is Saturday. Sorry, I cut Kelly off. I get so excited.
Yes.
We've already got our booth stocked down there at Rustic Daisy. We've got all our Christmas ornaments out and everything, and everybody's been hustling and bustling trying to get that ready. Penny down there at Evelyn Taylor is closed right now because she's trying to get it all out. Sending love and prayers and light to Penny because I know she's stressing.
But it looks really great in her shop as well,
guys. We got a sneak peek yesterday. But I will say this, the only thing, and I have said this, and Centertown does it, but the only thing that I wish that our downtown area would change Christmas decoration wise is that they would put the wreaths or the decorations on the light poles. There are certain towns, like you can go into Lebanon and there's like these light things attached to the light poles.
Instead of the flat, like they do at Dollywood. Yes, or I say Dollywood, but it's not. When you go in Gatlinburg, it's I know what you're talking about. They're really neat.
You see it a lot in small towns. To me, it's the quintessential small town. I know I'm entering a small town when you see those. My granny lived in a very small town in East Tennessee. It was Coal Creek. Then it became Lake City. Now it's Rocky Top. It's a whole situation. Anyway, but they always had that.
I said the same thing. Who said that?
What?
Christy Nell. Yes.
Oh,
imagine if we had a night parade.
I have been to a night parade.
It's so beautiful.
That's another thing I fought for, and I've been told the reason they don't do that is safety concerns.
Yeah, we've had some issues.
I lived in another small town in North Carolina, and they had a night parade, and they actually had a float that was an entire church. It was a float, and it was going through. There was a preacher up there preaching
and people singing.
There was a choir up there. There were people in pews listening to it. It was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hop on the float and ride along and listen to the pastor.
Yeah.
But it was so neat because they had vendors going through the crowd selling like glow sticks and things for the night parade. It was by far my favorite Christmas parade I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I wish... Yeah, I agree.
Manchester does night ones, and I've been to those several years with the radio station, and they were really cool, guys. Really neat.
It's really lit up. Maybe that's something they can work on. But anyway,
I go to Manchester too. Who was that? That was Christy. Yeah, shout out to her. That would be awesome for Christmas lights. Hello, Sherry Davenport. Now I'm going to do something really quick. I don't think it's going to ruin anything. Because it's not popping up on our end. I have to see on my phone.
We got Tennessee Cow Rescue, but everybody else, you're all anonymous.
So
it's kind of weird.
If I go, wait, just give me 2 secs. I'm going to refresh it. I know. We're back. Never mind.
Okay, so that didn't work.
But with that said, continuing on before we wrap it up with, and we just, I try to refresh the page. I apologize, guys. Hello, Miss Sherry Davenport.
We'll just have to see how that goes. But I mean, there's still a lot of activities that are going on downtown. I still encourage everybody to go out to the ice skating rink if you're over that way.
We're not, we're not against it or for it.
No, it's
we want to like talk about what everybody else is saying and speak for you guys. Facebook is crazy lately. Yes, it is, Christy. But with that said, still go and check out the Civic Center area. See what they're all about. Even when you're over there talking with Michael or Scott or any of them that's over there, ask them, be like, so what is going to, maybe the new plans for the, the jungle gym and what's coming up with the dog parks or what's coming, maybe this is a good time for you to educate yourself. What is the Civic Center, going to be doing lately.
Right.
So this is not us bashing them or anything.
No.
But I would, like we said at the beginning, I would like to know, like I think everybody else would like to know, how they came up with this, because this feels to me all of a sudden like, oh my gosh.
It seems to me, again, this is my opinion, not Warren First. This is Melody's talking, not representing everybody. But it feels to me that they knew that by absorbing the Tourism Development Board, that this was part of it, and there should have been a plan and action beforehand. Can we staff this at this time? Can we, do we have the staff to build this? Can we continue this tradition? You've got, I know, but you get people to work the pool. Use the college kids.
Kids are coming off of college.
Open it on the weekends and hire these high school kids. Do the weekends only.
Do Fridays and Saturdays.
If a nonprofit that I believe, and again, Christy Ross, if she's watched, I think you said Christy, but I don't know if it was my Christy.
Yeah, not your Christy.
Okay. But anyway, I believe that the Tourism Development Board was all volunteer. If they could have staffed that, then why can't the city? And I just feel like the ball was dropped, and maybe we
rushed somewhere. A ball was dropped,
and I also feel, again, Melody talking, that this was a huge slap in the face to all the work the Tourism Development Board put into getting this ice skating rink for our town and the tradition that they built up. That's just how it feels to me. And maybe that's because I know Darren and I know how much this meant to her. I know Christy. I know some of the tourism development people.
Made this happen.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm sure they're all waking up this morning going, really?
Yeah. Like how this happened.
And I don't know. But anyway,
but with that said, there's the con. I'll be the pro. And I think I
can see the pro, but I just, as I said, I am a mama bear to this downtown, and I'm very protective of our downtown and our downtown businesses. I always have been. So it's a little bit harder for me, but I have no doubt that there was a plan in action. And that's why I said, the city, I'm one who just doesn't run with everything.
Like, when do y'all get together and talk about this? That's what I want to know. Like, did y'all start making this decision right after the tourism board got switched over? Like, what are we going to do with these projects that they started? I'm just, putting it out there. I'm not saying that's what they said.
Yeah. I don't know who said that about the puzzle piece, but I agree.
Christy Perkins.
Okay.
And then Darlene Young says, I agree.
Yeah. I just feel like there's something we're not getting. And so that's why I said I would like the city to explain it to us, to give us a better understanding of the whole picture. What are we missing here?
Yeah, and I think this goes back to communication, and transparency. I think a lot of things, whether it's county decisions or city decisions, and I do understand that there is board meetings that are held all month, each month that are public. Public places you can go. Like, it's open. Or I should say, it's open to the public. These meetings are, but from what. And I may be speaking out of terms, but from the ones that I've checked into and I've been able to do, I've never once heard anything about the ice skating rink come up.
Well,
and I could be wrong. Maybe I missed it. And again, and if this is just a one-time thing, that's fine. Maybe they're trying to get their bearings of what the tourism stuff that they're adapting.
Right.
So we got to take that in consideration.
There's too many ifs and buts that we would like. There's too many loose ends we would like to get tied together. If y'all
Somebody said, Brian Carr goes, what if we had a ping pong ball drop? That would be cool if you're talking about New Year's Eve.
Do you remember the tire drop?
The tire drop was phenomenal. Does anyone remember
But that being said, we've got so many Christmas events coming on. We got Sing Along with Santa coming up next month. I just found out last night Project Graduation is doing a whole thing after the Christmas parade over at the admin building in the Magnolia Room, where Santa will be there. Painted Bar Media, shout out to Jeff, is going to be taking pictures. There's going to be activities. I dumped so much onto the Warren First page.
Good morning,
last night.
Mom.
I am so sorry for overwhelming y'all, but that's part of what I dumped on there. So there's a bunch of events that I put on there. I think it's going to be a great Christmas season, no matter what.
What's up, Jan? I miss you, Jan. I miss you.
Who said sup?
Jan
Johnson.
Love him. Yes,
Anyway.
we have talked about this many times. Who said that? We have talked about this many times. Hi, my mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
And going back to what Christy Perkins, what are you are you just talking in general? Because I know, like, you guys, Christy she did the Plaza Shopping Center. They gave out candy.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to reiterate this while we have people on watching that's responding. Maybe this could be the next thing they could think of, rotating the ice rink around to other local businesses to help bring in walking traffic.
Ice skating rink on tour.
Yeah,
it's like Ice Capades.
Yeah, and because if it's a grassy lot situation,
yeah.
Well, you got the Northgate Plaza Shopping Center, concrete. You got the Plaza Shopping Center, concrete.
You got the mall.
You got the mall that's outside and indoor availability, concrete. So again, I feel like, as many times, I'll say this again, as many times as they've asked for opinions on, grants that's come up, like what would you like to see change? I feel like they should have made a mention of this.
Yeah.
And said, what do you feel would be in the best interest of the community?
Right.
Or, so we don't lose this.
Right. Right.
So, thank you, Brian. Yes. So, but with that said, as we do need to move on, we want to talk about community events. Now, again, if you have any more comments about how you feel about the ice skating rink, you can message us on Facebook and Instagram, and also on YouTube. You can comment on our poll question as well, how you feel. If we need to bring this back in on Monday, I will call or text Michael Benushis, because he was the one that was all in the paper about quoting, and then see if we can get him on to make some more clarity for everybody, at least. But at the end of the day, I know when feelings get hurt, it's really hard to
change is hard, and that might be part of it. Change is hard. It was hard. It was hard when it came in, and now it's getting moved, and that's hard too. So,
but yeah,
that.
But with that said, there are so many events going on this weekend, going on this week, and we just want to make sure that we hit all of them. And I'm going to take that down. So, with that said, of course, our community calendar with all the events we're about to talk about is being sponsored by Reddick Brown Ford. Make sure you check them out. They actually do have a great deal going on all month long, delivery and pickup, whether you're getting an oil change. Like, if I knew it was going to take only 30 minutes, they could come pick up my car, take it, and it's free service. That part, pickup and delivery, is free. But with that said, tons of things are going on. Yes, you may. Yes.
Sorry, I forgot to talk about this yesterday. I'm so excited. But next weekend, November 15th and 16th at 7, November 17th at 2. It is Alice in Wonderland Jr., another amazing production by Warren Arts. Allie Morton is one of our teachers, is the one directing this.
Yes.
And it's some of the same kids who've done shows, and we know they're incredible. Talking to you, Walker Beatty.
He's a phenomenal.
Violet. And then we've got some new talent. One of the kids that came to theater camp, his name is Noah Kelly, and he blew me away. And I've said this before. I think that we have found all the talent in this town, and then more kids show up, and I'm like, where were you?
Where have you been hiding?
And Noah was that way. He blew me away. And I told him after theater camp, I'm like, you've got to try out. You've got to audition. He's kind of, and he auditioned for this, and he got a role, and I am ecstatic. And also understand, a lot of our kids don't just stay here in Warren County. They go to Cannon County, they go to Crossville, they go to Cookeville. They're all over doing these productions, and
great.
They do
great news this morning. Today's been a great morning.
Oh, I love good morning.
Good morning.
Anyway, but I encourage you to come out and see Alice in Wonderland Jr. This is a musical. During auditions, there was one song that they auditioned with, and it's been stuck in my head ever since.
Yeah.
But they have just put all of it into all of their work and effort, and given 100% to this production, and I cannot wait to watch this.
And another big production that's happened right across the street at the Park Theater, we cannot not mention this, is Jordan Winton, The Magic.
Tonight.
It's tonight, and it starts at 7:30. And he, like it said in the Standard, because I'm taking quotes from that this morning because I read it this morning. He said that he's bringing the magic to the park.
I am so excited.
And again, if you went to Rigor Mortis, he is actually a staffed person there that's helped with the illusion of this.
Yes,
like you were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay, so years ago we went to what I lovingly call Redneck Disney World, the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area. And in Wonderworks, there was a gentleman there named Terry. I forgot Terry's last name, but he used to do a magic show in there that just blew me away. I'm not a big fan of magic unless I can't,
figure it out.
In case it's unique and unusual.
It's not that you're against the OG magic. You just can catch it.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
I want to be amazed. And Terry did that. And we went twice. And the first time we went at Christmas time, he told the story of Jesus's birth using magic. Y'all, I have never in my life. It was incredible. And he is now out of Wonderworks and he's doing his own show. But Jordan apprenticed under him. He taught Jordan. Jordan was telling me this. And unfortunately, I'm going to be at the high school tonight, so I'm going to miss it.
I have our First Covenant basketball game, but Jordan, knock it out of the park. Do what you do, man, and then and I promise I'm going to take my son's dying to go to his show.
Oh yeah,
and so we couldn't make it work this time, but we're gonna do another one, or if you do one at Rigor Mortis, we're there.
Yeah,
I just don't want to be scared when I walk in.
No, the downstairs is separate from the haunted house. He's got a whole auditorium in the basement.
Okay, good.
You don't have to go through the haunted house to see the magic.
Great. I thought you had to go through those doors to do that.
No, it's in the downstairs right by the gift shop. So and then the concession stand.
They have a lot more shows. We're just not going to say them right now because I have to call another event that is going on right now before I forget her. I don't want to forget her. But Kristen Green. She's going to get on the phone with us because I told her I'd call her at 4:45.
9:45.
45. Whatever time. Hi, girl. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to make sure. Talk for me for a sec. Okay. Yeah. We can hear you loud and clear. All right. On the phone with us this morning is Kristen Green. She is going to talk to us about a fundraiser coming up for their school for the Centertown. Is that right? Urban College. Gosh, I almost had it, Kristen. Almost. Urban College does this each year for their 8th graders for their big trip that they do. So it's going to be this Saturday, which is tomorrow. And just give us all the deets, Kristen.
Okay, so every year our 8th graders, this is something that they really look forward to every year. And they work super hard all year long raising money for it. But at the end of the year, we take all the 8th graders up to Pigeon Forge. We spend a day there, we stay the night, and we do all kinds of fun activities for them, just kind of give them like a last hoorah before high school. But fundraisers is our benefit auction that we do. It's at Fairview Community Center. It's tomorrow, starting at 5:00, and we have a dinner. We have like a child plate, an adult plate. Adult plates are $12, and it comes with your meal, a dessert, and a drink. Children's plates are $8, and then after that we have an auction. And we've worked really hard on getting donations from local businesses, individuals, and we usually have a really good turnout.
Yeah. And speaking of that, when off air, are y'all still looking for donation items, whether they're baked goods or maybe a homemade quilt or what items, since you've been doing this, what items are up on the auction, if I may ask?
A lot of people have put together like gift baskets.
Mhm.
I know that my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law have donated like embroidered shirts and toy baskets.
Right.
And there's usually a handmade quilts, all kinds of desserts, and there's lots of really good items that are being auctioned off. I don't have the list in front of me,
Yeah.
but it always is a great turnout. Yeah. But
And
we
then-
do take donations
Mhm.
up until the day of.
Okay. And then who is going to be your auction man of the evening?
I honestly have sent a message to find out.
Oh, I thought you would have got it by now. It's okay. It's
No,
okay.
No, I'm trying to remember who done it last year. I need to spell out a name and it not be it, but I would say it would be either Randy England or DM Simpson.
Okay.
Both of those usually are the ones that kind of help us out, but honestly, I have no idea.
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
I think DM Simpson's the one who did it the year I went. One of my
Yeah,
one of my
always
nephews
feel
by
like-
choice was
Yeah.
at Irving, and I'm telling you, it was
Yeah.
a great evening.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
anytime,
it really is.
and this is another opportunity. If you're looking for a one of a kind item or something for Christmas, this is a great time to go out, because if you are trying to figure out how to not just not just trying to find gifts for your family and friends, but you want to figure out how you can give to your community in a way. This is one way of
Mhm.
doing it, is going to these school fundraisers, these nonprofit events, and donating, your money for the food, and then donating, maybe there's a gift basket. Say, I'm not saying this is here or it's going to be there, but say there's a gift basket full of like Starbucks cards and stuff like that.
That's Christmas right there.
If you know somebody that only is a Starbucks snob, I'm going to say it that way, you could get them
Yeah.
that gift, and boom, not only did you get your friend a gift, but you donated money to a school that's in need. Because,
Mhm.
Kristen, thank you, whoever said preach. I can't see who said that.
Yeah.
But with that said, one thing a lot of people don't realize, and I don't know how many times, I know there's people that do understand this, teachers use their own hard-earned money, which they don't get paid much.
On average, $1,000 a
Yeah,
year.
that's
on
what I was going to
average.
say. And they don't ask for anything. Even when you give those school supplies,
Yeah.
for whether you're in public and or private, teachers are still using their own money to buy kids these things to make sure everybody has something. Because, we say this all the time, whether it's with Operation Christmas Child or our own kids here in town, having a pencil and crayons like your
Mhm.
own means
Mhm.
so much to these kids.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
when you hear teachers, maybe if a teacher asks you for money or asks you to go get pencils or something, think about why, don't think about it, just do it, is what I want to say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because there's so many opportunities I think we miss with our children that, I think we miss it. And I don't want them to have a bad school year. I don't want to have a bad childhood.
Yeah.
And if a pencil's going to make you smile, well, I'll buy you 1,000.
I mean, I know Bobby Ray. I'm sorry, because I've worked closely
Yeah.
with him as a Title I
Thank
school.
you, Brian. Because we can't see
Yeah,
his
just
call
spends on that money. Brian Clark. He's signing off now. Bobby Ray's a Title I school, and
Mhm.
those kids are so impoverished. And I know that
Yeah.
when my child went there, I would, on the years where I could, and there were some years I couldn't, I would make sure to double up the supply list and just give it to the teacher.
Same.
Because there
Same.
are just some parents who can't. Not that they don't want to, that they don't think they should. They just can't.
Yeah.
They're barely being able to feed their kids. And when I said on average $1,000, that was a couple of years ago. Inflation.
There's
is
no telling
probably
what it is
more
now.
And they give selflessly because they truly do care about these kids and they want what's best for these kids.
Mhm.
And let me tell you something. It just takes something special to be a teacher.
It really does. I don't think they get paid enough, even though I know they get raises. With the public schools, they get some
Raises.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough or not.
I'm going to say no.
It's never, because they're not just teaching your kids like math, spelling, and reading and all this
Mhm.
stuff. They are teaching your kids how to be adults one day, guys.
It's okay.
Yeah.
This is what I always told my
And
son.
that's a big job.
This is what I always told my son's teachers when first day of school. I said, "Hi, I'm Melody. I'm so and so's kid, or mom. This is a co-parenting situation.
It is.
You have my child for half the day.
I love that.
I have my child for half the day. we need to work
Be on the
together
same page
so that the child can succeed. If something is going on at school that's going to affect his home life, you need to let me know. And if something's happening at home that's going to affect his school life, I'm going to let you know. There has to be communication. You two are a team, and understand that you've got one kid at home, 2 kids. She's got 20 kids she's trying to teach and raise.
On an average.
No, some people are built for that.
I'm not.
I honestly don't know how I would do it if it wasn't for our teachers.
No.
I mean, wrangling 4 kids myself, like our teachers, and it might be, I mean, I'm sure it's every school, but like our school is such a small school. So it's like, I can send them a message like, hey, he kind of had a rough start this morning. I just want to make sure his spirits are good. Can you just kind of give him like, hey, you're doing good. And I just feel like with this benefit auction and everything that our teachers do for the kids, like, they don't have to do this. You know what I mean? They want to do it. And like our kids, they're going to be working this benefit and this auction. And just to know that the community comes together to make sure these kids have a great experience. But it would not happen either without these teachers, pushing out for donations and sending updated lists every week of everything. I mean, they work so hard, tirelessly for this to be such a good turnout, because they really want these kids to be able to go on this trip and have a great time. And I honestly I couldn't do it without our teachers.
Exactly.
Well, and I'm going to tell you,
it really is a co-parenting situation.
I love that. I've never thought about calling it co-parenting.
It is co-parenting.
You just said it.
And I'm going to tell you, the 8th grade graduation at Urban College blew me away. What this school does for their 8th grade kids, and it's a smaller class, and I get that. But I mean, they get this trip. That same kid, I got to watch him graduate that year. They had the kids' faces on sticks for the parents to hold up and cheer and clap and encourage these kids. It was incredible. And I got to take his head on a stick with me, and it was a whole flat Stanley situation. We went and got a haircut at Ross and Company. We went to go get pizza, and I was taking a picture of me and Flat Jackson all over town. It was so much fun.
I think it's a great thing. I mean, the kids need to be excited about school. Like, well, you say this, I've said this with you, I've said this with Brian Carr, I've said this with a lot of people. When you go to any event, whether it's school related, church related, a nonprofit event related, if you go in it and it's up to us as parents to go in and show them how important, how excited we need to be, how responsible that we need to be. If we go in there looking half dressed, half tired, and bored out of our mind and mad that we're here, what is that teaching your child?
Yeah.
Because they're looking at you. And that even makes it harder for the teacher. It makes it harder for the person that you drop them off at. It's just a whole thing. So when you go to events like this or something else, if you've had a crappy day, just fake it till you make it for your child. That is your job as a parent. I say this all the time to people. And if you didn't want to be a parent, well, you know how to fix that. Just saying. But again, I appreciate you coming on the show with us and calling in. But the event for Urban College?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Urban College, 8th grade.
8th grade.
And it's at Fairview CIC, correct?
Yes.
It is. And I did find out it is DM Simpson who is the auctioneer.
Wonderful.
I think it was.
He does a great job.
I wasn't 100%.
Yeah, you just wanted to make
Jared
sure.
Lusk,
Yeah.
and Jared Lusk, I think, is going to be assisting him. So.
Okay. And that's going to be at Fairview CIC tomorrow. At what time?
It starts at 5:00. We're going to have a turkey and dressing meal, and then the auction is to follow.
Okay, so everybody come out, support these kids, because some of that money, like even that $1 for $1 from your adult food plate, is going to a kid that may never go on vacations.
Even if you don't have a kid in 8th grade, go and support them anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a community. They say it takes a village. We're the village.
Gosh, yes. 100%.
Go out and support these kids.
And I will say this right now on the air, Kristen, if you know that y'all are short and you don't want to cut a kid out, you let us know and we'll take care of it.
Yeah. Well, we definitely don't ever let a child go without.
Yes.
If there is ever, financial hardships on anything that we do, we make sure no kid is left out. Like on 8th grade night, we rent a stretch limo. Actually, it's a stretch excursion.
Ooh.
We take them to lunch, and then we go to Tops for some froyo, and then that night is our 8th grade night. And
if you want karaoke that day, you just let me know. I'll tell Matt and Anna.
Karaoke in the limo.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it.
Yeah, we really go all out for these kids. But yeah, we make sure that, no kid is ever left out because of financial hardship.
I love that.
Any donations, even if you don't come and buy anything at the auction, we will have, donations, like a donation jar out there if you want to just donate. Every bit counts. So we really appreciate the support from the community.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Colin. And I hope everything works out tomorrow. And take lots of pictures and send it to us and let us know how much y'all raise, because we'd love to talk about it in our newsletter. Okay?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for letting me come on here and talk.
You're welcome, girl. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
So, again, and good morning. Says, and I don't know who the God Bless the Teacher comments from, but thank you so much.
And somebody put in there, and thank you, is that the Jordan Winton tickets and the Alice Jr. tickets can be purchased on the Park Theater webpage. I forgot to mention that. And
morning.
I got this message from the fabulous Melissa Mullins over at the Chamber.
Yes.
The Christmas Village at Morrison Elementary School's Kindness Club is having a Christmas Village on Saturday, November 16th from 8 to 4. 30 plus craft vendors, food, and photographs. Shay Gillespie Photography. I've not heard of that one before. Another photographer in this town. We'll be taking the Mean One photographs. Yeah. Please come to Morrison Elementary School on November 16th to buy lots of Christmas gifts. All the proceeds from the purchase of the vendor booth will go to the Kindness Club. The funds will help spread kindness in our school and community. Please look at our Facebook page for a list of our vendors. Okay. Thank you. Christy Carless, 3rd grade teacher, ELA teacher at Morrison Elementary. Thank you, Christy, for sending that in. That also sounds like a really great time.
And with that too, so again, all this information we're giving you is sponsored by Reddick Brown Ford, because without them, we couldn't be doing what we're doing. But again, there is always public blood drives opened up in Warren County. And I got this information at the Chamber of Commerce. So they have this cool little board where people can put flyers and things up. And with that said, the next one coming up is on November the 13th. It's going to be at the River Park Hospital on Sparta Street, and it's going to be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on November the 13th, which will be next week. So if you want to donate your blood, because that's one thing everybody is in need of, especially with all these serious surgeries people's been having, go to that. Another thing happening on November the 9th, which is tomorrow, there is it's the 2024 Central Baptist Association Toy Drive. The pickup days are going to be on December the 20th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and pickup will be at the Three Rivers Baptist Church. And they said on November the 9th, there will be a sign up from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Shellsford Baptist Church, located at 121 Bottoms Road, McMinnville. So I'm assuming the sign up is if you are in need of toys. We'll call somebody from the Central Baptist Association or Three Rivers to confirm that. Yeah. But the next sign up, if you are in need of toys for your kids for Christmas, is going to be tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Another event that goes on every Saturday at 11 o'clock in Campaign, which I'm going to give you the address now because I said I would. And I did see, a lot of people yesterday getting ready for the soup kitchen on downtown to open up. And, I was thinking, well, should I tell them about, Perry's Food Ministry? Because I was asking you that. And I was like, I don't know. And I'm trying to remember who sent this to me. Yeah. Lisa Zavianis is the one that told me about Mr. Perry's place. And it's located at 135 Flat Shaw Road in Campaign, which I think is Rock Island area. But with that said, if you are in need of food during this holiday season, during these cold seasons, it is open to the public. Whether you're struggling to get, you missed a paycheck because of missing work or whatever the case may be, they open up at 11 a.m. at that location in Campaign, and you can go and get the food that you need. And Feed America First is the one that is providing the food. A shout out, I want to say again, to Mr. Perry for doing this for over 25 years now. And a shout out to the local leaders and local business that helps supply the freezer. And a shout out to the Mennonites, I almost forgot what to say, that helped build this immaculate refrigerated building for Mr. Perry. Did you have another thing pop up?
Oh, no, y'all, I'm on baby watch. My best friend from high school, I'm about to be a funty again, and they're in the hospital with no power in labor, and I'm on baby watch. I'm just hoping.
There's Mark Mara.
You mean to holler, Mark?
Yes. He always calls me. Rude. I waved at your wife.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, I'm on the podcast. I'm like waving. I'm like, oh, there's Mark.
Hey, everybody.
Mark Marr, everybody. He's off duty today. Oh, well, come on. Get us.
I wanted to give a big shout out to Kelly. Because, Kelly, you helped with that bike school. You set up meals that were incredible. And I've never seen so much hospitality. It was really neat. I mean, one of the restaurants had closed down and let us come after.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
One of them was like
Kimmy's
anything you want on the menu.
Yeah.
And that was Collins River.
Yeah. Shout out to Collins River.
And the wings at
Mud Bums
were, it's like you exercise
and
then you eat.
They were doing these healthy activities with these bicycles and figuring out all these cool things to do with them. And then I get a call from Mark every time or a text saying, I can't believe I had to get back on the bike and take that 10-pound load back.
Yeah. Yeah. I gained weight.
Did you?
During the class, and you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. So. Did Kimmy make you, was it lasagna?
Yeah.
Kimmy's
lasagna, side salad. It was excellent. And Hardee's provided breakfast.
Yeah, shout out to Hardee's.
Last morning, and that was great. So but thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime I saw you, and I'm like, well, you're always harassing me. Now come on.
I know.
That's why I was like, open that door.
Exactly. Well, it's good seeing you.
You too.
All right, you guys take care.
Have fun with your folks.
All right, thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Unexpected guest experience.
Unexpected. That's why I love my show. I like being different.
Guest of the day.
Yes. But no, doing things like that for the community, like you said, when you see a need, you feel a need. And I don't know, I can never remember what that movie I got that from. Or a show, but I heard that when I was younger, and I use it. Yeah. And when I hear, like, if the police department's having a thing and they are looking for, is there a way, to help them? And that's what I did.
Well, the one that's always stuck with me, and I can't remember if it's a president, senator, or TV host, might have been Fred Rogers. It seems very Fred Rogers, but anyway, it was. Whenever something gets really bad in the world and ever something like gets dark, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers and focus on that. And that's one that's always stuck with me. We will never
be out of prayer warriors, helpers, worker bees. Yes. People are out there. It's like yesterday when I saw Stephanie at the red ribbon cutting at, I'm going to lose my mind, Highland Elite Realty. Again, still coming off of the passing of some folks. And I went up to her and I said, how are you doing? How is the family? Is there any? And I go, I know people are telling you this. And that's what she said. They have been overwhelmed with prayers of comfort and peace. And during the holiday time, whether
that first one's always tough. Yeah. And it's going to be tough for a lot of people. You just saw an obituary where we lost another 19-year-old kid.
We lost another 19-year-old kid. I saw that.
In an auto accident. And I don't know how much more we can take of this because it's just too much. It's too much.
It is too much. But at the end of the day, that's why we have friends I have friends like Melody, and people have friends like me, or whoever. You got a friend like that. Yeah, that is there to support you. You got your support team, and that's what makes life ever so.
Yeah.
And I say that very easy because when I lost my dad or lost my grandma, there was always either a friend or family support to keep you like they never held me, but it felt like this.
Yeah.
And I can never, knock down.
Yeah.
But again, when I say this while we're talking about it, don't forget about our prayer list that is pinned to the top of the page with all this death and destruction. And now I want to add to the list. I saw somebody add it actually already. Pray for the nation. Pray for our president-elect.
Yes.
That's the next thing, the step, moving into that now.
We need, because there's been some big news about that.
So moving forward, and I'm going to say this and then she can say what I know what she's going into. With all the two things, are you going to play that one thing?
I can play that one thing.
I want her to play this because I don't know how else to say it.
Well, wait a minute. Before we get into this, just so y'all know, in the world of the strange, in South Carolina, they've had 43 monkeys.
Yeah.
43 monkeys escaped from a laboratory that was making vaccines, and they may be diseased, they may not, but lock yourself in the house and don't try to pet the crazy monkeys.
Don't capture them, don't pet them, don't let them, and they tell them to lock the doors because you know why? The chimpanzees are smart enough to open up the doors.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and they're like, they have a disease.
And if you do have outdoor animals, I'm not saying that the dogs don't have diseases and stuff either, but just to protect everybody as a whole, if you got a garage, can you please put your animals in the garage too?
43 monkeys that were being used for vaccine development escaped from a lab in Yemassee, South Carolina on Wednesday and are currently on the loose.
On the loose.
On the loose. Hang on. This is from CBS. People are advised not to try and capture, feed, or handle the monkeys. According to the CDC, some monkeys can carry B virus, which can be deadly to people.
Keep reading. Just read on.
Let me tell you something. This was not on my bingo card for 2024. And again, maybe this is the
Is it released or they escaped?
Well,
what did they say?
Saying. 2 or 3 monkeys seems accidental. When you've got 43 monkeys on the loose, it seems like somebody left the door unlocked. Or something. I don't know. It's weird.
That's what I said.
They may bite, spit, or scratch when frightened. So don't pet the jungle puppies. I mean, just leave them alone. And
I know that it might have been your dream to be the next Tiger King, but with monkeys.
Let's just leave the monkeys alone.
Put a pin in that.
It's just so weird. Why do we have 43 monkeys?
I don't know.
Hopefully they don't like vacationing in Tennessee.
I
know. But our prayers are with South Carolina.
First off,
I hope you're
say
okay.
that, but remember the bear? They said, don't poke the bear.
Yeah,
let him go his little way.
Don't pet the boy.
How many times was he on the golf course at Willowbrook?
I know.
And, all these report sightings, and I'm like, listen, if that bear comes a-charging, this mama bear is going to get what I call my gun and bang, bang.
Yeah.
Don't come at me.
Yeah.
Don't come at me. But are you good with that now?
Yeah. No, okay. I just wanted to share with y'all that we've got 43 diseased monkeys on the loose.
Now, on back
to the Trump thing.
Back to the Trump stuff, because again, this whole week has been fresh with our new president and all these things, and the comments that are all over social media and more. But with that said, and I know there's people that say pros and cons about ABC News, CNN, Fox Nation, and then they always say the comments because I want them to hear this. Fox Nation has got a lot of bad rap because of, they're dominantly Republican and things like that.
Yeah.
And Trump. And then the other ones, ABC, CNN, are more neutral based. And I was really shocked to hear, I saw the little thing you showed me this morning, and it was on CNN with, and I can't think of his name, but he's always done the ball drop. Oh my God, Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
Had this guy on, and he spoke for a minute. Scott Jennings was on CNN, and he spoke for like a minute, 15 seconds. And I want you guys to hear this because, okay.
Sorry.
I want you guys to hear this because this is what I think as a whole we have all been feeling, and that's why the vote went the way it did.
It was
because
so perfectly
we are I'm going to say this. There are different types of Republicans. There's different types of Democrats. There's different types of independents, right? You have the people that are far left. And I'm going to say it like people say it, okay? But in a nicer way. There's the people that are the far crazy side. There is the middle group that's like, well, I understand what you're saying. I get it. And then there's the
silent majority.
And those what I call the anonymous groups.
Yeah.
Where they stay quiet.
But after the last election, you've got a lot of Democrats, especially here in town, that after the 2020 election didn't want to be associated with that party anymore. And now they're independent. And they're like, no, we're done. Yes. That was whack.
And that's why there were I saw so many independents on the ballot this year.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy says it exactly the way I think everybody's been feeling in our country for the past, I'm going to say it, 4 years.
Yeah. So I'm going to play this real quick.
3 words. Check this out. Won the national popular vote for the first time since, for a Republican, for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day. They're trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true.
So with that said, because I feel very hurt for a lot of the comments that were said, but at the same time I say that I'm hurt. We live in America where we can speak freely in how we feel, and our opinions, everybody's opinions matter. Everybody's opinions matter. It's not just the Republicans' opinions matter. It's the Democrats' opinions matter. The independent party's opinions matter. We all matter. And I want to say here, because at this point, everybody's talking about who they voted for, who they didn't vote for. And I'm not going to have to say who I voted for, but I am going to say this, and you're going to know who I voted for. It hurt my feelings as a female. Now, I don't watch The Voice a lot, or not The Voice, The View. The View a lot.
Oh, what she said. Oh, that ran up one side and down the other.
So instead of me getting mad, it crushed me. It broke my heart that we have women that have a powerful speaking platform.
Yes.
And instead of uniting us together as females, they're calling me, you, and all of us uneducated white females. That really crushed me.
Yeah.
And I am not an uneducated white female.
Me either.
I love my country. I love my community. I love all walks of life, all different types of races. I love how we are all uniquely different. It does not say in the Bible that God made us the same. He uniquely made me, her, all of us.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know Melanie's not everybody's cup of tea.
No, I'm more like a shot of whiskey.
Several people on the downtown street over here is not everybody's cup of tea. But let me tell you, comments like that, calling people racist, discriminating, there are so many hateful and hurtful words that came out of this election and the previous ones. And as one of those anonymous people, I am sick and tired of the hate. I am, Melanie.
I know, honey.
It has broke me between all this death and
our community. In our community,
done.
The amount of ugliness and hatred that I have seen from people that I still consider friends, because you're entitled to your opinion. Let me tell you something. The silent majority was not happy with how the 2020 election went.
Yeah, but at the same time, I prayed for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I wanted to make sure the decisions were made right and good and good intentions, no matter who they were. When Trump got shot at, I prayed that Kamala Harris was protected, Biden was protected.
All of them.
Because that's what the anonymous people do.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to add more fire to the flames.
I think, because even here in town, I've seen people say that we, go take a breather. You're okay.
Take a breather.
That I've seen local people in this community say to people that they know that they've seen the good that they've done for this community, tell them that they are not good people, that they don't care about humans, that they don't care about human rights. They don't care about women. They don't care about babies because of who they voted for. I said this yesterday and I will say it again. We all have different life experiences. We have all been through our own personal hell. We have all had a rough time. In some way or form, some of our experiences were worse. I had a horrible childhood. I'm a 2-time abuse survivor. Those experiences mold and form us as a person. Mm-hmm. We make our choices and vote based on that. And I have trust issues, so I'm a researcher. I have not watched the news since 2016 when it started getting ugly. I refuse because it is so biased and so skewed that I just can't do it. I do my own research. I don't go by one source. I go to 2 or 3 or 4 sources. Yeah. I listen from the horse's mouth.
You dig for the truth.
Because I don't trust anybody.
Yep.
And
it's nothing against you guys. It's just, that's how it is.
Who I vote for on that. And we're never going to get the perfect candidate that perfectly aligns with all our views. We have to decide what means the most to me. For me personally, the education system and gay rights are the top 2 for this country. Add that in, the love of this town for local politics. That's what I base my voting off of. And for people to go off and say that I don't care about that aggravates the fire out of me.
I know.
Because you don't know me as a person. I understand that those are your viewpoints, and you thought that was the best candidate based on what your life experiences are.
We all went and voted.
We can disagree and still be friends.
Agree to disagree.
Right. We don't all have to get, I'll still hug your neck. I don't care who you voted for. As long as you're a good person and you're not committing felonies. We're good.
Yeah.
And even 100%. If you commit felonies, I'll still just pray for you. 100%. I just can't be around you no more.
I'm just sick and tired of the media companies projecting hate. I'm tired of the major media markets characterizing me. I'm going to put it, that's my opinion, as me.
Yeah.
And that kills me. And I just said, kills me hearing somebody call women, as hard as we have fought for since the beginning of time, to be even able to vote.
And we're now uneducated.
And now we're uneducated. Where did we go?
Right.
Where did we lose the unity? Where did we lose?
That whole show needs to be taken off the air. Those women are nothing but ugliness. And they divide this country.
But at this point, if you can't get on a show and be neutral and talk to your people about the pros and the cons, like we did the ice skating rink.
Right.
If you can't do that and you want to base your show off of one-sided views only, because I remember when The View started with Barbara Walters.
Yes.
Go there. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
We used to be that way. Walter Cronkite.
Yes.
There used to be unbiased news reporting.
When it changed, but I just hate my biggest thing. I will tell y'all, if anybody ever wants to cut me down, is saying that I'm uneducated and I'm weak. Those are the two things.
I didn't go to college, but that doesn't make me stupid. And I get that here in town too. Let me tell you something. I went to the School of Hard Knocks, and I guarantee that School of Hard Knocks taught me more than I ever would have learned on college campus, because I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
And I can teach you how to survive on being poor.
Yeah.
You can't teach that on a college campus. And I'm not saying not to go to college, and I'm not saying to go get an education, but some of us don't have that ability. I have dyspraxia, which is a learning disability. Yeah. I have a different way to learn, and I have dyscalculia, which means I can't do math worth nothing. Don't ask me to draw a straight line.
The numbers switch. It's crazy. I get it.
So, but that means I learn differently than most people. Correct. I was just talking about this with my son's girlfriend. I learn differently, and schools are not built to teach kids like myself, autistic children, children on the spectrum. Dyspraxia is supposedly on the spectrum. I don't know. But they're not built to be taught in public school. Yeah. And I wasn't going to pay to go to college that didn't know how to teach me.
That's right.
And I grew up my whole life thinking I was stupid because I made horrible grades. But the reason I was making horrible grades is because God bless those teachers. They were taught at their college to teach the average child brain
at that time,
not the child brain of someone who's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm uneducated. It just means that I process and I think differently than everybody else, and that's okay.
You're uniquely, I go back to this from the Bible. We are all uniquely made.
Yeah.
And every day I'm saying this to you guys, if you want this country, and if I wish I could actually be on a major platform, honestly, like on CNN or ABC, but again, I don't know, maybe one day. But if I was on one of those or knew somebody that worked there to preach this same speech I'm saying, we need to unite everybody and not divide everybody. And as much as they say in the news, in the market media is like, bad news is still good news. I think it has been overused and overdone and taken advantage of at this point. You want to find the negative in everything. That's one reason I felt like we should, when I was talking to Sheila about the newsletter, and I'm going to end with this, with the newsletter
well, we have to mention the one other Trump thing.
Oh, yes. And then we'll do that too. I forgot.
Yeah, because that's big news.
My big thing about the community newsletter was not to go against anybody else that has news stuff going on. I just wanted to put a lot and only positive things in this community newsletter.
Yeah.
Because I was tired of seeing, not here, but around in our other communities and in our nation, all this negative things going on. And that's why the newsletter came about. And I wish that other major media markets would do the same. But unfortunately, I don't see that. It's going to take time to get back to that.
Here's my analogy of it. And this is what I've always told people. When you go to church, and for all you Christians out there, that the four main gospels are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are the four main, those are four gospels. Those four books all tell the story of Jesus' life, Jesus' birth. The details are a little bit different because it's from their perspective, but the message is the same. Here in Warren County, our four gospels are the radio station, the newspaper, Ben Lomond, and now the podcast. We're all telling the same story. The story of our community, the love we have for our community, what's going on in our community. The messages are going to vary a little bit because we're all different people, but we all have the same mission and the same goal.
Correct.
And we should all be working together to get that message out there.
Yes, to get it more out there. And with that said, speaking of the major media marketing companies during last election and this one, a lot of stuff was spewed out. And I want to say specifically about Trump, about against women's rights, against all these other guys. He hated this, he hated that. You just heard
so much ugliness and so much propaganda. And
yes, but with that said, he's already announced 2 of his cabinet.
I cannot find the first, and I'm wondering if that means that the vice president is the first, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But Susie Wiles is going to be his chief of staff. This is the first female chief of staff.
How awesome is that?
History just got made.
And I say this after all the comments that have been made about women's rights and he doesn't like women and all these things.
You hear that all the time, that he's against gay people, that he hates gay people. Let me tell you something. I have seen the videos that have been altered to say that, but then I've also seen the lengthy interviews going back to the 90s.
Roseanne's interview. Look it up.
Yeah. Saying it's not, I'm not for it. I'm not okay with it.
He goes, it's not my thing. I'm like into women.
Yeah. But I'm not going to tell them to stop.
Yeah. He said, you know, if a guy like, you know, he even said, if I was a guy that was into guys, I'm fine with that. But
if Caitlyn Jenner showed up at the White House.
I am not into guys. I'm into women.
Right. That's what he said. And I think that's a common misconception. And I know that another big issue is everybody getting all riled up and upset that he's going to take away women's rights. And he's not doing that. That's not a priority.
And I'll say this, though. If he does, then my bad.
Right.
But if he doesn't, I want people to realize, check yourself. Like, that's why I say check. I say it to myself all the time. Kelly, check yourself. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Is this the truth or not? There's so much common misconception with Roe versus Wade. They want to go after Trump for that. But the thing is I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not a history person. I don't remember who started Roe versus Wade. But the thing is it never should have been a federal government decision. It should have always been with the states. And all he did was correct that error. It is a state issue. Just like other medical stuff, assisted suicide, medically assisted suicide is a state decision. Legalization of marijuana is a state decision. If you don't like the fact that your state is not for abortion rights,
you got to go with those officials, not the president. You got to vote for those people that's going to sit in those Congress seats.
Go to governor, senator, move to a different state.
Representatives.
Right. That's where you need to start. All he did, and you know, and I'm not going to get into my opinions of it.
Whether it was Trump or Harris, presidents cannot make laws.
Right.
It's in the Congress.
Constitution.
Congress makes the laws.
Sorry, the Congress. Sorry.
We had Brian Carr in here. Thank you for educating me the other day.
And I really do think that he's got bigger issues right now. Hamas surrendered. He's like, Trump got elected. I'm out.
Yeah,
they're like, done.
It's not been completely confirmed, but they're talking about it.
Yeah.
They're asking for peace. And so again, that's another thing that's going to happen.
They're already getting changed. Things are already positive. Things are already happening. Am I going to be bold enough to say that the next 4 years are going to be a cakewalk and that this is going to be the answer to everything? No, but I have hope, and I have hope.
Yeah, there's hope. And I think that I'm going to piggyback on what that gentleman said. The anonymous, middle class, God honest, hardworking Americans came out and did an American mandate.
And I thought that the way he said that was perfect.
Yeah, they spoke to the federal people that's in these positions today. If you don't get a wake-up call, things are going to change.
And I'm hoping, I'll tell you the other thing I'm hoping is that the affordable diabetic medication goes back into effect. I'm hoping that affordable IVF goes into effect because I know that that's been a big thing.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm on baby watch. This has been a long journey for them.
Yeah.
They ended up doing embryo adoption because IVF was just not possible. I didn't even know embryo adoption was a thing. Mm-hmm. And now, finally, after years of fighting, she is about to give birth, and I am ecstatic for them.
Yes.
Every person should be able to have that. And I'm going to say this. As I said, I know a lot of people in our community are hurt right now. They're hurting severely. This is not the outcome that they wanted.
But I want you to know we are still your friends.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you decide not to be my friend anymore, that's your choice.
And if
because
you need
we live in a free country, or take a break. Yeah.
I know several people are wanting to delete their Facebook page. This is not how it wanted. They were sure, just like, I mean, a lot of us were in 2020. I mean, you know, it's overwhelming, and mentally deciding that something was going to go your way and then it's not is crushing. Mm-hmm. Take a minute, but don't throw out insults, and don't be hateful, and
don't be hating. That's what I always go around when people come at me. Don't be hating. I'm listening to your opinion.
Right.
You listen to mine. It didn't work out. And I also want to say this. We have 4 years for you to change it again if you don't like it.
Go find a good female candidate, please. I would love to have a female in office.
Whether they're Republican or Democrat,
it doesn't matter.
Or independent
or Green Party. Whatever.
Show me the woman, that can fill that position.
Because there's got to be somebody out there somewhere, and it's not Oprah Winfrey. Y'all stop that mess.
No.
Stop that mess.
I didn't like the last. Yeah, I'm really upset with
Oprah's
some of the hate comments.
Cracker also. It's not Whoopi Goldberg either, or any of the other ones on The View.
Mm-hmm.
Find a good, decent person. Show us that because I know there's women out there that can run this country.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are. And again, Sheen, I know we have somebody in mind, but we're not going to say what else.
I have several people in my head that
there's
on both sides, by the way, on both sides that I think would be a great candidate. And I think in my head, if we ever have a female president, she needs to have, I'm okay with having like a female president and a man as a vice president. So when going into it, there's two different perspectives going in.
Yeah.
Because if you want to make a good concoction of the people at the top, not saying do man and man, but if you had one woman and one man, it'd create a good, diverse decision-making skill. Yeah. And I think that just would be great.
Oh, the other thing I can say, and it's not been confirmed.
Yeah.
But it's not been confirmed, but it is being insinuated, rumored, highly likely that Kennedy will be joining Trump's cabinet in some position where he is going to be able to go after the FDA and the EPA. I don't know, but he's going to go after all of the vaccines that have not been 100% healthy for us, and he's going to go after everybody who's been putting all the poisons into our food. That is the projected idea. And apparently Elon Musk is also going to be joining the cabinet to deal with the overspending at the Pentagon. Again, not confirmed, but seems hopeful. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
I just feel like there's a lot more millionaire and billionaires. Like you always ask for example, in the newsletter or in the newspaper this morning, I read that they're seeking out sponsorships for the ice skating rink, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the high scale of looking for people to help sponsor and take care of these other unforeseen issues that maybe the president can't handle fully,
right?
But get these outsider opinions that are business savvy and that have the means and the money.
Right. And that's why I was saying I really like Vance being in there, because he knows what it's like to be in poverty, beyond poverty, whatever's below poverty. That's where Vance started. And so he will be able to bring that knowledge in.
That'd be kind of neat. I'm really excited to see how that's going to be like, if it works or not.
The one thing I have not heard, and I'm assuming is going to be true, but I've not heard, the first time that Trump was elected, he refused to take a paycheck.
He did, and he said the quote was, "I'm going to ask for $1." I don't know if he did the $1. I don't know if he got a bigger paycheck.
Well, because he has to take something. But I think he donated that money to something in need, some charity.
Yeah, he donated all his money. The president's check went to a donation of certain organizations or different ones, because he was already making money at the other places.
Right.
He's already well established.
To be about money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's going to do that again. I would assume he would.
I'm going to assume he does. I mean, his wife is a #1 bookseller right now. I mean, I'm
so excited to have her back in the White House. She is so beautiful.
She is very well educated.
Very, and she's beautiful, and she's, I mean, again,
there's
somebody else that came from very humble beginnings and had to do the unthinkable to make ends meet, and now look where she is.
Yeah.
Good morning, Hannah.
But I'm going to leave with this, and we're going to end the show because we have to get ready for our next thing. And I want to say thanks again to Tim Howard,
First Sergeant Howard,
for letting us come to the high school today to see their amazing Veterans Day program. We will be going Facebook Live, so you don't miss it at home. They're actually going to have 10 veterans show up to
helicopter.
It's going to be immaculate. So we're going to be going out there, and I believe the program starts at
10:45.
10:45, and so we wanted to, get done with the show early enough so we can know where to set up and all that stuff. So,
and Monday we will be at Bobby Ray for their annual Veterans Day ceremony. 8
a.m.
That is a huge deal over there, having been named for Bobby Ray. I can't remember.
Robert.
No, I can't remember what medal he won. I'm sorry, guys. It's already been
the Purple Heart.
Was he Bronze Star or Purple Heart?
I thought he got the Purple Heart.
Okay, let's say Purple Heart, but y'all are going to correct us in the thing if we're wrong, because that's what y'all do, and we thank you for that.
Sorry.
But it is going to be a big to-do deal. Bobby Ray always goes all out to teach these kids. Most people don't realize that, like when my son graduated there from the 5th grade, they did an entire ceremony, taught the kids how to fold a flag, everything. Yeah. It's very military-based.
From Bobby Ray.
Yeah. Congressional Medal of Honor. I knew somebody would know.
Thank you,
Brian, for helping our brains work today.
Brian should have just came on this show today.
I know.
I'm going to have a nice little round table next time with everybody having a camera. And then when we, like they do on CNN, and then it lights up when they're talking.
Yes.
But with that said, we are going to go do that this morning.
Hang on. It is, oh goodness gracious, a cadet-led ceremony displays from military recruiters, fire and EMS, Tennessee Highway Patrol, SWAT vehicle, and a Black Hawk helicopter.
And they're going to be doing a speech will be given during the ceremony.
I'm going to get lots of pictures. She's going to go live.
Santa's doing his hair. Love it. But again, I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. It's given me when I get my feelings hurt and things like that, I have to say it because everybody knows I'm transparent. And I want to end with this. Okay. I keep saying we're going to end it, but we are this time. I promise. For all the folks that are anonymous, that have been left silent like myself. And it has been one of the hardest things to be quiet about the elections and certain things that go on in this community.
Yeah, I didn't discuss it either. I really have been scared about retaliation,
but I think we did it right. I think
so. We did so too.
But I think we all, as women, all as Americans, we need to start speaking up, and we need to be respectful, and we need to say it in the right way. And again, I know sometimes the right way might sound crazy and wrong, but we need to love one another. We need to pray for one another. We need to enjoy each other's differences. And we also need to understand it's okay to agree to disagree. And I think that's where it can make the change. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to say it like we all been thinking it. I was really worried that depending on whether Trump or even Harris won, whoever won, I was wondering, are we going to see a Civil War III break out?
Yeah.
And I don't want war to ever happen in my hometown. I don't. And I say this as much, I love each and every one of you that went out and voted. I love each and every one of you that make this community what it is today. Because without you guys, you are all movers and shakers in this community, in this country. And if you don't like what you see in your town or in your community or in your country, go to a place that supports your values.
Yeah.
If you can't find the circles and I'm not saying I want y'all to move and buy your own island. I'm just saying, if you don't like it where you're at, go find that circle, go find that tribe, go find that area.
West Coast.
Something. You know, there were several counties that voted red, several counties that voted blue. Go there. And I will say this. I don't know, as far as Warren County goes, it has always been a red county.
Mm-mm.
Has it not?
Mm-mm. They used to be a Democratic county for years. Again, this is going to be a Brian Carr question.
Oh.
But I can't remember when they switched over. But yes, this used to be an all Democratic county for a long time. Ever since I've been
voting, when I started voting when I turned 18, it's always been red. So I do apologize.
No. And there's a
Brian Carr's already thinking about it. Just let him say it. We'll wait on Brian.
Yeah,
he's typing somewhere.
There's something to go with that. And I'm sorry, I cannot remember the full story, but it was always a Democratic county back when Democrats weren't how they aren't the way they are now. And then at some point they switched.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of our politicians here in town that were Democrat are now Republican.
And are they stay independent? Or they run as an independent?
A lot of the times you inherit your parents' political views.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I'll give you a great example. Lucille Ball got under fire because she registered under the Communist Party because that's who her parents were, who her grandparents were, who her great grandparents were. She didn't know what that meant. She just said, well, everybody else is it. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
And then she got pulled in and got blacklisted and got in a lot of trouble. And Ricky spoke up at her hearing and he said the only thing red about Lucy is her hair. And even that's not real.
I remember that.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
So I think that it is something that gets passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been what happened. And that gets a lot of flack during election time. Well, they were Democrat and now they're Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And how dare they run under the Republican ticket? And they're throwing this whole election. The only reason they're doing that is to mess everything up. No, sometimes you just realize that as we grow as people, as we mature as people, views change. And we realize I used to be a very conservative Republican and now I'm more toward the middle of the bird. I'm on the other side of the wing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, as I've grown, I think I've told this story before. I'll tell it again. The only reason I became Republican, as I said, I don't even know what party my parents were. I think they were Republican, but I don't know. But the only reason I became a Republican is I went to get my driver's license changed over at 18. We had moved. And the lady said, do you want to register to vote? And I said, I sure do. And she said, are you Republican or Democrat? And I ran out and asked my mom, I said, which one's the elephant? And she goes, Republican. And I said, I'm going to be a Republican because I knew how to draw an elephant and I didn't know how to draw a donkey.
I didn't.
True story.
Oh.
That's how I became a Republican. And as I grew, I realized my views more closely aligned with that. But as I've become a mom, as I've become a taxpayer, as I've grown as a person, I've realized that my views are more middle road,
same
other side Republican than the conservative.
Yeah.
And my son at this time is leaning more liberal.
And that's okay.
And I told him, okay, kiddo, if that's what you want to do. But you know, my mother-in-law said a lot of the young people do start as liberal because they don't, they haven't started paying taxes and they don't have a family.
They don't fully understand everything yet.
Yes.
And that's
their
fine.
world is very, small. And as they change, it does tend to change. And sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, thank you, Brian. So I'm going to post this and you're going to see it only on YouTube. It said most people in the community became Democrats during the FDR generation. Most have died out. And now you have over 13,000 in Warren County voting Republican. There you go.
FDR was an incredible president. I honestly think that Kennedy was our last great president.
Mm-hmm.
Reagan was
a good one.
Reagan was our last really good president. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that we've been struggling. And I hope that we get America back on track. I actually just
That's all I really hope for is, even if Kamala Harris won, I would be saying the same thing. I just hope we can get America back on track.
Yeah.
I want to be, when she said that, as far as Americans go, it's an American mandate. We just want to get back on track. We want to feel safe. We want to, we
want to be able to afford our groceries.
Yes.
I did watch the Reagan movie a couple of weeks ago with Dennis Quaid, and it was very well done. It was an incredible job.
I haven't got to watch it yet. I was going to try this weekend. Oh my gosh,
it's so good. Anyway,
but as Americans, and we'll leave with this. This is the last thing we're saying, and we're doing there.
Okay,
we gotta go. We
gotta go.
You, as an American, have every right to research, to look up, to find whatever word, verb you want to use.
Don't believe anything you read or told. Do your own research.
We say.
Don't believe us either.
Research it. Look into it. Because we try to be as transparent in what we heard. But with that said, you as a person have every right to find the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find the truth that speaks to you, because I've said this a billion times when you read the Bible and things like that, I interpret the Bible different than Melody than some other folks.
Oh, yeah.
But there's some similarities. There's going to be, I get what she's saying. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
But then there's some stuff that you read about, it's not. And with that said, do the research, dive into the rabbit hole if you have to, and figure out, because when you do that, you can see that some people change their views. One minute we're for Christmas, the next minute we're not. One minute we're for gay marriages, the next minute we're only for women and men marriages. And those are the two big things that popped in my head, and I feel like I had to say it because you need to look and see what your person views, and it's just not what they view now. And if you can agree to, if you're listening and you can agree with me on this, as we talk about it, as we grow and get older, our changes, we change, our views do change.
Yeah.
So if you are okay that somebody says no to this and now I'm saying yes to this, you have to agree with me that you're okay to agree to disagree at that point.
Right.
I want y'all to understand that, because if you're okay with your candidate changing their mind or views, like within difference.
During the election year, he
Sure
was
did.
very anti-gay rights, and then
he
in
changed.
May of the year he was
Yes.
going to get elected, he all of a sudden, whoop, nope, I'm good with y'all. You're
Right.
good.
And, you hear Kamala Harris talking about, and Biden, I want to go with Biden, talking
Yeah.
about gun control. And then you see that, Vice President Harris was on Oprah at one point and did an interview and talked about how she is proud to be a gun owner.
Yeah.
This is where I want y'all to dig in. Look at these things. I'm
And
not against Kamala Harris, by the way, having a gun. I have several. But when you talk about views, to me, shouldn't you represent the views you speak?
Yeah.
And you may not like people, people's personalities. But at the end of the day, find out who's consistent in their views and what they believe and don't believe.
And if they're changing
Like
their
Dolly
views,
Parton, she's
if they're
good.
changing their views because they are growing as a person,
Yeah.
or if they're changing their
100.
views to get your vote,
Yeah.
that's the other.
You gotta
That's
watch
the
that,
slippery
man.
slope.
It is a very slippery slope. Are they changing because they in their heart and in their mind they want to change?
Yeah.
Or is it something just to get your attention, like Taylor Swift or back in the day, I was thinking Toby Keith right now. They write songs to get you to buy their music.
Dixie Chicks talking to you girls.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's again, the president is a business.
Yeah.
It is a job.
This country needs to be run as a business. And that's the biggest thing is
we can't be run on personal,
right.
Emotional. We can't be run emotionally. We have to be run as a business. And remember, as a business, if you get fired or something happens to you, it's not personal. It's just business.
Right.
I still like you as a person. It's just business. But with that said, we do have to close.
I know.
All right. With that, take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And remember, Warren County, keep it first. Bye, guys.